Welcome to Let's Play Gran Turismo, episode 24. So, you may remember in the previous episode, we notably did the Mega Speed Cup, and subsequently overall, I think as far as I know, the Mega Speed Cup is subsequently the shortest championship in the game, because essentially overall you're only really going 2 laps around high speed ring test course and then high speed ring reverse. So yeah, as far as I know, I think the Mega Speed Cup was probably the shortest championship I've had to do in this game, and it probably is the shortest in the game overall, but anyways. We are now going to get on with our next cup, and that of course is the Normal Car World Speed Contest. And well, unfortunately, as you can see here, I cannot use the GTO because obviously, well, this car itself is pretty much maxed out. It's pretty much maxed out in terms of everything you can have, excluding the racing modifications, of course. And well, that of course means that, well, for this one, we are going to buy a new car. So I had a look through, and well, I think for this one I'm gonna go to TBR again, since I have a feeling TBR will probably be more reasonable than Aston Martin. So even though I already have a TBR Griffith, I'm going to get the other one, but obviously this one will officially just be the normal one, the Griffith 500. And we have 3 colours here. We have Moonraker Black, Macau Yellow, and Copper Green, all of those subsequently being metallic colours. And well, just because essentially overall I am a stiff-assed Brit, and many people will probably expect me to go for it being a British car in green. Obviously, that's essentially what I'm going to go for, because I think it just makes sense to have a British car in green and just go and race it to essentially show off, you know, the fucking British heritage shit. But anyways, so now that we've got our car, we are going to do pretty much absolutely nothing to it, because this is officially our 7th and final A-Class event of the game, the Normal Car World Speed Contest. The world's fastest commercially available car is... we are about to find out. So, 5 races here, most of these tracks being in reverse, excluding Special Stage Route 11, which is forward. So we have Autumn Ring Mini reverse, Grand Valley East reverse, Deep Forest Raceway reverse, and Special Stage Route 11 forward. So if we can get a pole position for one of these races, we get 10 grand. Championship bonus is 100 grand, and if we can win a race, that is 50 grand. And wow. That is literally a huge difference between first and second. I mean, there's literally 40 grand between them. And well, we are just going to see how we do. So, let's see what happens. And well, since I know very well that I need a normal car for this event, I just figured, of course, that I wasn't going to be bothered in using anything else. And well, I figured, of course, that since the Griffith 500 was probably one of my best choices, I might as well go for it. So obviously, no machine settings allowed, so I can literally do absolutely no tuning whatsoever to this car. And we also have a fairly reasonable field here. We have a TRD 3000 GT, a Subaru Impreza Sedan STI3, a Mazda RX-7 FD A-Spec, and also a Nissan Skyline GTR R33, along of course with a Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 4 GSR as our main competition for this event. And also, furthermore, FYI, I have the lightest car in the field. Well, I know I probably shouldn't do this because I know I'll just be last, but again, I just want to see how far off the pace this car is, you know, in terms of qualifying trim. So even though there really is no point in actually doing this, I just figured in a way I might as well do it anyway because, well, you know, why not? Why the fucking hell not? I actually did a hell of a lot better than I was first expecting I was going to go, because surprisingly for this race, I am actually on the pole by 0.8 of a second ahead of the 3000 GT. Then it is the FD in third, followed by the Impreza, then we have the GTR, and also the Lancer is officially in last. And shockingly for this race, I am in pole position. I was not expecting that to happen. I would have literally thought for sure I was going to be at least a second off the pace, but anyways, there we go. So, I am on the pole for race 1 at Autumn Ring Mini Reverse. Let's see if we can officially convert the pole into a win. Hopefully we can. But we shall wait and see, because quite surprisingly with this AI, and yep, I am definitely getting a lot of wheel spin off the line. And already running wide, because both myself and Fitiardi were pretty much going too wide. And oh fuck me, I literally just got spun around by the FD. Well, I'm not going to complain, because even though I was already loose, oh, okay, that did not work out the way I wanted it to. But, well, good thing it's a 5-lap race, so even though this is probably the second longest championship in this game, considering the cars themselves need to be completely stock in terms of upgrades, because I can literally do nothing to this car in order to actually conduct any tuning. And there of course is the FD that essentially spun me around on lap 1. And now of course I am back up into second after 2 laps, and already I'm starting to run wide again. But again, I still don't know if I should blame the FD for spinning me around, because essentially overall, even though he did notably complete the spin, essentially overall I was already loose. I was already loose even before he hit me. So even though he did spin me around, I was already loose on the exit anyway, and essentially overall I really wouldn't have thought of any way to, you know, avoid it. I mean, I could do if I wanted to, but obviously that would have not been the case, because I would have literally just been able to do nothing, as you saw on the first lap. But anyways, I'm now battling with the soup as I'm on the inside for the final corner, and he tries to force me out wide. I managed to get back on the track as we now start our 5th and final lap of race 1, which surprisingly overall has already taken me just over 3 minutes. So race 1, I would say overall is probably pretty short, mainly because, you know, this race itself is essentially on the mini course, but anyways. I win race 1, and I think it was the second lap that I got the fastest lap, because I was definitely just literally cutting my way through the field. And the game doesn't wait for the Evo to finish. But anyways, those are your results after race 1. And hopefully if it's possible we can essentially have more or less the same for the other races, as we get 50 grand for winning, and well, actually yeah, I think I will save a replay. Because, yeah, as far as I know, I think this is segment number 24, at least with this game, as which, now that I've officially saved my replay, hopefully we can do just as well in the rest of the championship as well, as we now move on to race 2 at Grand Valley East, reverse. And do I predict I will put this car on the pole? Probably not. But am I still going to try qualifying anyways? Absolutely. Just to maybe see if I can get myself, you know, some additional financing. Hopefully some easy financing as well. But we shall wait and see. In the end of qualifying, I am once again officially on the pole for this race, as the TRD 3000 GT, in other words the Toyota's tuning house variant of the Supra, was in second. This time we had the Impreza ahead of the FD, and also as for the bottom two, they are pretty much the same in the end of the second qualifying session for this championship. But anyways, so another 10 grand for winning. And well, to anyone who may be asking me why I decided to go for the Griffith 500, well, oddly enough, I was not the first person to think about using the TVR Griffith 500 for this event, because there was someone before me. But anyways, as I'm entering race 2, and getting a lot of wheel spin, as I would usually expect of course from an FR. And going into the first corner, keeping it all nice and stable, considering I also have the lightest car in the field as well. But anyways, as I was saying, and I'm on the grass, so as I was saying, I was not the first person to consider using the TVR Griffith 500 for this championship, because apparent as it might be, there is one YouTuber I know that came before me, and also notably overall, I do also like to watch him quite a lot on Twitch as well. And well, as far as I know, the YouTuber himself was called Rhino GT4 when I saw this championship, and notably overall, he officially gave me the idea of notably using the Griffith 500, you know, because why not? So yeah, so Rhino GT4 was essentially the first person who gave me the idea of using the Griffith 500 for this event. Considering obviously lots of people just literally, you know, just do not prematurely give a shit about TBR anymore. And not just because, as labelled by Donut Media, it is the cursed car company. And oddly enough, I did also hear, of course, that TBR had recently revived the Griffith as well. And I am just literally waltzing away from the rest of the pack in this race. Holy crap, I am actually dominating this race. The AI just literally cannot keep up with me, even when I do go off onto the grass. Yes, the AI are already well behind. And now, as for the bottom three in this race, they too have actually got quite a gap to the second and third placed cars, which I'm assuming are probably the 3000 GT and also the FD, I'm assuming, who are in second and third places respectively, as we now come round the final corner down the hill to officially completing lap number 3 in race 2, as we of course are currently doing well at the present time and managing to keep ourselves in a relatively secure position at the present time, and I am just absolutely dominating this race. So essentially overall, is it possible to say that notably overall, if I didn't get spun around in the first race, would I literally be dominating that race as well? Well, probably. I mean, I'm just absolutely waltzing away from the rest of the field. But anyways, yeah, as I was saying, so I probably will give you the link to Rhino GT4's channel, and maybe you want to check him out. If you are essentially a committed Gran Turismo gamer like I am, then maybe you ought to check him out as well, because we definitely made a good choice in picking this car, and furthermore, pretty much myself, compared of course to the AI, this is probably one of the best choices I've made in the game so far, because as I said before, I have absolutely dominated this race pretty much from the start. I have just prematurely dominated this race since I took the lead. I have just respectively stayed there pretty much, which is essentially the main point of me empathizing why I figured this car would be a good choice. And also, this is pretty much going to be my stock TBR, but anyways. It is race win number 2, and I of course have pretty much won this race by an absolute margin. And, oh, okay, and this time it was the FD that took second in this race, ahead of the Soup, and then it was the Skyline GTR in fourth. The Impreza has now dropped down from 4th to 5th, and also in last we have the Evo 4 as the current point standings after 2 races. And once again, the second lap proving to pretty much be my best lap. But anyways, 50 grand for winning. A very nice chunk of money. Also a very big chunk of money as well. But anyways, let's move on to race 3 at Club End Stage Route 5. Reverse. And well, you know what, I think just because I'm in the mood to, show this off, I might as well, and, just maybe see if I can get the poll again, just to arrange myself for, some easy finance, but anyways. I think just because I'm in the mood, I will show you qualifying on just this one occasion, just to basically prove to you how exactly I am able to pretty much secure the pole, the quali, and also furthermore how exactly I'm pretty much able to waltz away from the rest of the field. So I think just because I'm in the mood, excuse me, I will actually, oh shit, that did not go down well, and just as I said, I was going to show you how I get the pole, I just suddenly hit the wall, so instead you are probably going to see me qualify last, because I seriously fucked up there. I just literally could not see where the wall was, and that was probably the main reason on why I just went straight into the tyre barriers, because I just literally couldn't see where the turning point was and also where I was. So I think I've pretty much thrown away the pole on this occasion, unless I can suddenly make a comeback, but that's probably unlikely, because notably overall I seriously fucked up there. I mean, I literally just couldn't see where the tyre barrier was, and also where exactly the turning point was. I was just completely blindsided. And well, that attempt was hopeless. Although I am seriously hoping I do not make the same mistake in the race that I made in qualifying. And if I do, then I will be upset. But again, it won't really matter that much unless I basically just, repeat the same fucking mistake I just made in qualifying, as you saw right there. So, if I didn't hit the tyre wall, then I probably would have been on the pole. But again, because I did hit the tyre barrier, obviously, I am probably dejected with how exactly I was not able to get the pole for that very reason. And oh, bollocks, I just did the same thing again. I just literally cannot see where the turning point is. Yep, okay, I am clearly not paying attention to where exactly the turning point is and where I am. Because I just literally cannot see the entry to the turn. It's almost impossible to see where exactly the turn itself is going, and also where exactly you need to be in order to actually get through the corner. I just literally could not see where exactly the turning point is. But hopefully if it's possible, I will not reproduce the mistake a third time. And if I do, then I will be really pissed off. Oh, okay. I just immediately went for a dive whilst I was just pretty much engine braking there. Just literally no use of the brakes whatsoever. Just pretty much going through the corner. I just had no use of the brakes there whatsoever. So despite me having my first lap shunt, somehow pretty much at the end of the second lap I am able to notably get myself back into the lead. Ahead of the soup, and of course I've now set a 51.3, and I probably went way too deep into the corner. But at the very least, since I figured that obviously I would probably repeat the same mistake that I made on lap 1, obviously I have just literally got to tiptoe my way round that first corner. At least on the reverse lap anyway, I have to, just literally tiptoe through the corner. Because, fucking hell. That first corner is just literally so hard to navigate. And yes, I did brake early because obviously I was being cautious, because I do not want to reprise the mistake again for a third time. But anyways, in spite of that, I still managed to take the lead by the end of lap 2, and of course, as we are on the end of lap 4, keeping our car on the curb, obviously not for very long, I am officially now up into the lead. And officially, it only took me nearly 3 laps to officially take the lead, without just literally slingshotting myself into the wall. But anyways, final lap of race 3, and we of course are going very well at the moment, even though I did just touch the wall once again. But anyways, all is going well at the moment. I have a fairly sizable lead now over the Soup, and then I think it's probably the FD in third, but I could be wrong, considering notably overall I did literally just have to, considering I literally just had to shoot my way through into second place and just literally force him into the wall. But anyways, it is victory for race 3. And if it's possible, I probably will. Yeah, so you can probably see what I mean. I mean, you literally just cannot see the corner. I mean, just fuck me, man. That first corner is hard to see where exactly to brake, but anyways. So these are the updated standings, as of which the 3000 GT has now taken back second over the FD. Then it is the Skyline in fourth, followed by the Impreza, and at the back with a perfectly low 3 points is the Evo 4. After 3 races, I'm pretty much just waltzing away with this championship. Also, furthermore, another new lap record on the second lap. And I'm assuming the main reason for that is subsequently because I must be getting a tow from the AI or something in order for that to happen, because it's probably when I'm making most of the overtakes that they are becoming my fastest laps. But anyways, let's just see how qualifying goes, and hopefully this time, of course, I will not show you qualifying, because I probably made one of the biggest mistakes I officially made for pretty much this entire game. And subsequently overall, this time I don't think I'm going to show you qualifying, because, well, that would just be a distraction. And well, it's not because I don't want to, it's just because I don't want to repeat the same mistake that I made at Clubman Stage Route 5, as you just saw. And also in the race as well, but anyways. Let's head to the 4th qualifying session, and hopefully we can give ourselves redemption for the wreck we had at Route 5. For the 3rd time in this championship, I am once again on the pole. And well, the reason for that is subsequently because none of the corners on the course, as well as pretty much the walls in general, were blind. So surprisingly this time I was able to somehow navigate my way around the course and still put this car on the pole by 1.6 seconds. As once again the Impreza has qualified third, but I doubt that's where he will finish. But anyways, another 10 grand for the pole position, and my money is definitely climbing, because I'm just literally getting richer and richer. By the skin of my teeth. If it's possible sooner or later, I may even become a millionaire with the amount of money I am earning from this championship. I could very well become a millionaire if I wanted to. But anyways. Meanwhile, we of course are officially on the first lap here at Deep Forest Reverse for our fourth race of this championship, and also pretty much our penultimate race as well, considering there is this and only one more race to go. After this one, and that of course is at special stage route 11, forward. So we're not going backwards on the course, we are going forwards. But yeah, so as I was saying before, I think of course with the channel Rhino GT4, I will give you a link in the description, and I probably would recommend you go check him out. He's a good gamer, and he probably deserves more credit for this decision than I do. And I'm on the grass, so just went a little bit wide there, but somehow still able to keep the car under control and pretty much waltz away from the field as I have been doing for most of this championship. And well, I think I do have a good reason to say why exactly I saved the race at Autumn Ring Mini Reverse. Probably because essentially that was the best race in the championship, where I of course had officially, you know, fought back from pretty much spinning out into last position and then suddenly seeing myself reappear pretty much after 4 laps in the lead, and then I just pretty much dominated the race from there. I think it was like lap 3 I took the lead in the race. I took the lead in the race at Autumn Ring. Someone will probably remind me in the comments, but obviously, you know, I'm just really not, just not really trying to get my brain to just, fucking function with what's already happened. And I'm still on the grass, and I've just touched the wall. Because as bad as it might be, I am very much being retarded at this point. Because I'm clearly not concentrating on where the track is and also where the balls are. So, But anyways, in spite of me making all of these mistakes, somehow I'm just literally waltzing away from the field. I'm just literally pulling away every lap. And this, of course, I'm fairly certain will probably be an easy 45 points. And also, as well as that, if I didn't have my shunt at Route 5 reverse, then essentially overall I could have easily probably won the maximum out of this championship, but obviously, because I wrecked since I was unable to see where exactly the corner went, it is essentially fair to say that I literally just couldn't see where the walls were and where the corner was. But hopefully when I'm going for the other prize car, I will be able to, redeem myself from that mistake. As long as I know very well, I can actually give myself the perfect amount of money on my second attempt, which, as far as I know from calculations, is about 400 grand. And yeah, I'm actually not kidding. And yeah, essentially overall, I'm actually not kidding on this. The maximum amount of money you can win in the normal car World Speed Contest is precisely 400 grand. And well, as for me, I'm definitely getting all the big bucks. But anyways, approaching the final corner of this lap, and going into the hairpin, as I'm somehow running wide again. We're coming across the line now, and only a few hundredths off setting a new best lap time in that lap, but anyways. And surprisingly this time, the Impreza did manage to hold on long enough to secure third in this race, as he of course now moves up to fourth ahead of the Skyline. And well, as for the Lancer Evo 4, I think he's probably just going to get a perfect 5 points, because essentially overall he has basically been last in every race. But anyways, I am pretty much secure for the championship, mathematically, because even if I finish last in the final race, which surprisingly enough at this point I doubt is going to happen unless I keep on crashing, then notably overall I could be on course for a perfect 45 points, at least in terms of this championship anyways. Well, looks like the FD is pretty much secure for third, so I would say my best lap in this race, probably because it was where I made most of the overtakes again. But anyways, I would probably say going into the final race, the only real battle that we have for this championship is essentially between the Impreza and the Skyline. So yeah, I think pretty much all of us are secure for our positions, apart from the Impreza Sedan and also the Skyline. They still need to settle their dispute on knowing who exactly will finish 5th in the championship, as we now head to the 5th and final qualifying session for this championship, hopefully we will not make the same mistake that we made at Route 5. It has very much become apparent that I am definitely on form to getting a perfect 45 points. So, subsequently overall, I have basically made the perfect choice for this championship, because I put this car on the pole by 6 seconds, and I literally didn't even have to use the walls. Even though at some points of the lap the walls will probably become inevitable, but you know. There we go. So that was the pole position. And now of course we can officially move on to the race. So pretty much everyone is secure for their positions in this championship, apart from the Impreza and the Skyline, because they still need to settle their dispute on knowing who will secure 4th. But anyways, it is now time for the 5th and final race of the Normal Car World Speed Contest. Special stage, Route 11. Forward. And in my honest opinion, it is very much a suitable venue to end most of the championships in this game, essentially. I mean, it could just, you know, be my personal opinion, but again, it is fair to say that essentially overall, I have probably just absolutely decimated this championship from start to finish. Because even though all of these cars are just literally stock. Oh, okay. Yep, okay. I did not see where that was I did not see where that corner was going, and I was very lucky not to hit the second one. Because if I did, then I would be pissed. So whilst I'm just basically going off on a fucking rant, I'm just explaining about how dominant this car has been pretty much throughout this championship from start to finish, I might add. And also giving how long the circuit is. I'm probably suspecting I will susceptibly pull away from the rest of the field, because coincidentally the car itself, in terms of qualifying pace overall, well, excluding the crash I had at Route 5, Route 5. This car overall, in terms of both qualifying and race pace, is just so fucking dominant. It's literally just like this car itself has just pretty much decimated the field from start to finish, essentially. As once again, like I have been doing with all the other championships, I have just prematurely been dominating pretty much every race. As soon as I managed to retake the lead, I basically just hold on to the lead, and hopefully this time I will not be able to make the same mistake I made before. Even though subsequently overall, I would have said Route 11 in this game is okay, but obviously the one thing that I think is probably the most awkward part of this very long and very complex course would probably have to be the bus stop chicanes, because god damn it, those chicanes are complicated. I would have also said overall they were probably awkwardly placed, as well as what's the other word I'm thinking of? As well as also being awkwardly tight on both the entry and the exit to just that one particular section. But anyways, after 2 laps I have now already built up a cushion to the soup, and then I think it's the FD that is currently in 3rd, and then it's probably the Scooby ahead of the Skyline, and then, as per usual, it is probably the Evo 4 in last, after 2 laps have been complete of this very long and very complex course. And just like I have been doing pretty much throughout this championship, I am officially dominating this race once again. And yes, I did figure, of course, it was necessary to short shift into 4th, because that was probably the only way I could have officially got through the corner. Well, at least able to get through the first part of the corner anyway. And managing to avoid the wall, since I will admit, I was definitely quite tight on the entry, but anyways. That, of course, is your margin for this race. After nearly 3 laps have been completed. And things, of course, going well for the moment. As this, of course, probably will be, and no it won't. Yeah, I almost made the mistake of saying that was going to be a new fastest lap when I eventually realised in the end it wasn't. And, oh, fuck me. Yeah, that was my mistake right there. And there's another one. Yep, okay, now the mistakes are starting to wear on me. I really need to stop doing those now. Because I would have probably said that margin by now has probably decreased, with pretty much all the fuck-ups I did on that particular part of the circuit. I mean, this circuit overall is okay, but I still think in many cases, but subsequently overall, can I please just stop making these mistakes? Just please stop with these major fuck-ups. That's all I ask. And I've now fallen down to 3rd. Because fuck those chicanes. I mean, you literally just cannot get through the corner without crashing. And pretty much revving the engine up to its maximum amount of revs, and also dragging the wall as well, which I did not mean to intentionally do, but obviously I still did it anyway. And I should not have done that. I should not have done that. But somehow, because my competence is pretty much proven the better of me, obviously I had to do it, and So pretty much everything in this championship, apart from the mistakes I made on the previous lap here at Route 11, along of course, and I did not expect myself to be dragging the wall, but somehow I still did. Anyways, so yeah, we are now back up into the lead, as this is now the final lap of the normal car world speed contest, and I of course am still continuing to drag the wall. I should probably stop doing that because I have already retaken the lead. And when I'm asking, no, I'm not cheating my way through this championship. Oh, Jesus Christ, that was so close. I literally thought for sure I was going to do the same thing again. But still, I think everything on this course, excluding those chicanes, at least on this version of Route 11, everything else is okay. It's just that one fucking section that's almost impossible to get through at speed. It's just literally almost impossible to get through at speed. But anyways, I am now back into the lead, and notably overall, pretty much all of my laps have been pretty much over the 2-minute range, and I'm honestly doubting I'm going to get underneath the 2-minute range. But anyways, so it is 5 out of 5 victories for the TVR Griffith 500. And with that, I do set a new fastest lap on the last lap. But anyways, so there we go. The world's fastest commercially available car is the TVR Griffith 500, at least on this occasion. But anyways, those are your final point standings for the normal car world speed contest. So a perfect 45 points to me and my Griffith 500. The TRD 3000 GT eventually finished in second with 28 points. The RX-7 FDA spec, obviously a Mazda, was third with 21 points. Then the Impreza eventually managed to fend off from the Skyline in clinching fourth. And at the back with a perfectly and consistently low 5 points was the Evo 4. So 45 to me, 28 to the 3000 GT, 21 to the FD, 14 to the Impreza, 12 to the Skyline, and 5 to the Lancer Evo 4 GSR. But anyways, there we go. So, in spite of me having a lot of major fuck-ups on the fourth lap, somehow in spite of that, my luck as well as my speed was able to officially get me back up into the lead, and 50 grand for winning the race. So it is 5 out of 5 wins for me. And with that, a perfect 45 points to go along with it. Pretty much all luck, no skill. But anyways, championship bonus, 100 grand for winning this championship. And with that, of course, we are definitely out of the poverty range, as we also get the trophy. And we also get a new car as well. But I wonder which one that will be. Considering it is only really with most of these special events, excluding the endurance events, that you can officially, you know, win more than just a single prize car. But there we go. So the normal car world speed contest is now complete. Although I will need to do it again. So this is the first car we win from the normal car world speed contest, a Subaru Impreza WRX STI version 3 is the first car we notably win from this championship, and now of course I am officially going to save the game and pretty much go again to see if I can win the other prize car, whatever the hell that may be. But yeah, so we are now going to return to the normal car world speed contest to see if we can claim our other prize car that is obtainable from this championship. So once again, it is officially a perfect 45 points for me, as pretty much the entire field on my second attempt, well, technically my first attempt at trying to get the same prize car, sorry, the other prize car from this event. Sorry, I really can't speak. Anyways, so pretty much the same field again, apart from saying this time the TRD 3000 GT was replaced with a Honda NSX, and he of course has respectively finished in second in every race, because I finished in first in every race. So 45 points to me, 30 to the Honda NSX, 19 to the Mazda RX-7 FD A-Spec, 16 to the Impreza Sedan, since he got a third place as well, 9 points to the GTR, and 6 points this time to the Evo 4, who quite surprisingly did not consecutively finish last in every race. But anyways, there we go. Now we can move on. And well, since I've already saved the replay, I might as well just move on from this, as 50 grand for winning, and I of course am definitely moving away from poverty. But anyways, so there we go. Now we get our championship bonus, another 100,000 credits, and FYI, we are only about 13,100 credits away from earning $1 million, as we also get our trophy. Very nice. And now of course we officially get to see if we have secured our second and other prize car from this event, and I hope we have, because if I haven't, then I will probably be even more pissed off and upset than I was after my first attempt of the Quadman Stage Route 5 reverse race. But anyways, so that is now all of the A-Class events complete, and now of course we only have 5 events remaining, and we also move on to our highest class of events, the International A events. A. So this is our second and other prize car we win from this event. A Toyota Supra RZ, and I do believe this car itself is pretty much, I would say it's either in turquoise or it's probably in cyan, but as far as I know it's probably more relatable to cyan than it is turquoise. Well, anyways, it is basically just a bluey green, so yeah, I'm suspecting it's probably cyan, but I could be wrong. Anyways, we are now going to save the game. And so there we go. That was the Normal Car World Speed Contest. Next up is the first of our International A-Class events, the hard-tuned car speed contest. So with that, stay tuned for more GT1.